welcome. We last left our 2 crewmen in the city of Kadath on the Isle of Narak when they had been taking their shore leave to explore, relax, and take care of needed businesses in R&R. Kodrog has recently rented a room from the Merchant's Lodge, a nice little cozy location for him to bed down instead of constantly hunting for a different place to sleep.
Yes.
And I don't remember Thomas purchasing one either, so Thomas is going to be sleeping on the streets.
What?
Maybe. They had a moment of
relaxation.
Bonding. They had bonding and relaxation. They met 2 people that were mercenaries.
Yeah.
Aria and Narek.
Narish. Yes.
Good thing I write these things down. Yeah, Aria and Narish.
Yep. Arya, the Lycanian.
And Narish. The Krotech. They had a chance to spend time with these 2 individuals and get a bath.
Yes.
Bath and massages.
Yeah.
And rub downs and lots of physical touching.
And meat on a stick.
Meat on a stick.
And that's not a euphemism.
No.
I was gonna say the image in my head is just Kodrog standing in the sauna, just eating meat on a stick.
Lounged back with one leg up.
Yep.
And in another hand is that pie that you bought.
Pocket pie.
And the other 2 just doing the same thing, relaxing, whereas Thomas is just
Thomas learned a little bit about Kodrog and your new acquaintances, and learned a little bit more about himself in the process.
That I like bathing alone.
Private baths confirmed.
Being touched by people you don't know that well. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who would like to go first?
Sorry, my yawn wasn't the one who answered. I'll let Kodrog go if you must. Sorry, I really should have gotten tea.
I want to go first.
Well, Kodrog, not only did you get, essentially a timeshare at the merchant lodge, your across the way neighbor.
Oh yeah.
Was Maria. Is.
Oh. Convenient.
Indeed. So we start off bright and relatively early the next morning.
The breakfast bell has rung. You gather your things needed to wander down the hall. The smell of food is wafting through the air. The crowds are already in the streets, making a decent amount of noise. Can be heard from where you're at. Your window to the back of your room faces the inner courtyard, so you're hearing the echoes of echoes coming in. And as you don your shirt and pants and boots and step out into the hallway, your neighbor across the way is also doing the exact like. You can hear their door unlock, lock, and whatnot, and you step out to turn and face Maria, who as well is coming out has a momentary pause as she realizes you're there. Kodrog.
Oh gosh, she's my better. Master Bosun? Yeah. Good to see you.
Didn't know you were getting a room at the lodge.
I didn't know myself until I did.
She smiles. There's thoughts run through her mind. She pulls the door shut, locks it, and says, "I'm off to breakfast." And She seems to be trying to excuse herself from an awkward conversation.
Oh, I'm headed that way too.
Oh.
Shall we go together?
Sure.
So the two of you make your way down into the main common room of the merchant lodge, where the tables are kind of spread right next to each other, so it's, communal seating for breakfast stuffs. They have the usual thing, porridgey things, eggy things, meaty things,
Biscuity things?
biscuity things.
Lots of biscuity things. Biscuits of different colors. Brown,
Oh my.
light brown, white.
Thingy things. It's not, it's not a feast meant for royalty, but it is better than what most people get when they're on the ships. So,
Wow.
there is that.
And it's buffet style?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There looks to be dried currants that you can sprinkle onto your porridgey-looking thing.
Oh man. I'm gonna get an embarrassing large portion.
No shame.
Nope.
A shamelessly large portion.
Yeah, shamelessly large portion.
God, that description is like fucking on point.
Oh my gosh. And if
I've
they
been
have
there.
if they have any of those weird Marseille croissants, I'll grab one of those too. I like the flaky buttery.
No, sadly, they only have 3 styles of bread. Brown, light brown, and white.
Yep.
And they all look like biscuits, except the brown one, which just looks like hardtack.
No.
Some people prefer it.
I won't skip it.
Okay.
I'll take that too.
Maria notices how much you put in front of you and says nothing about it as she proceeds to eat.
She makes a salad and like croutons. As you're like, oh, biscuits of different colors.
Oh man, I can put porridge on my porridge? Yes, please.
I will build a wall of biscuits along one side of my plate as I stack them. Now I will balance it.
You build a corral of biscuits and bacon, and then you fill it with porridge.
You're
Sprinkle
explaining this as you're going down the
some
aisle.
cranberry things on top.
Are you describing this to
I'm describing it to myself as I do it.
Oh, Kodrog.
Top it off with an egg thing.
An egg.
Masterpiece.
Right. As you guys sit and enjoy breakfast, you are not alone in the room. There are probably about 4 other individuals in this breakfast hall with the two of you. She sits with you and engages in light conversation. How are you doing? What have you been up to so far? A gentleman walks into the breakfast lounge as you eating and whatnot. He screams quartermaster, but definitely not yours. The way he walks and holds himself, glares down at all the food judgingly, and begins going through, gathering some stuff. When Arthur steps into the breakfast area as well and stands there, you notice the 2 individuals, Arthur and this other known individual, stand in about the same consistency is the word? Stance? They look like they came out of the same mold, just different facial features. One's human, the other one's Keshin.
their posture?
Their posture. They make eye contact. Yes, posture.
I said it first.
They make
Maybe
eye
there's
contact.
a delay.
They make eye contact and make nods toward each other in some sort of Morse code style gesturing. It seems to convey messages and information. And and then Arthur walks over to the table and begins serving himself. He doesn't even seem to pay attention to you guys in the room. His eyes are not wandering. He goes up and serving himself from this collection of food.
So, Kodrog,
Yes.
you've built your castle of breakfast. What would you like to do? Is there anything that specific that you'd like to maybe that you want to talk about with Maria, or do you just want to kind of shovel it all in and get started on whatever you feel like doing for your day?
I think, some small talk on, how are repairs on the ship going?
She responds with,
Oh. Any word from the captain? I suspect he's up at the castle.
Mm-mm.
Complimenter.
Yeah. What do you have on the agenda today?
Sticks food into her mouth.
Tell her how beautiful she is. That'll just be your conscience.
Yeah, like the voice in the back of my head is like,
Don't think about that night you two had sex. Don't. God damn it. Like.
So, how long have you been renting a room here?
Since we docked. This is where I stay if I'm not invited to the castle. Arthur, at this point in time, has noticed the two of you, because you're the way you sit, you can see him. Glances over the two of you. Like, judgingly, of course.
He knows.
Looks back to the other quartermaster, and they communicate in like a very soft, whispery tongue to one another that sounds like code again. And then that quartermaster turns to look to you two, and then goes,
So I started to like wave to Arthur, and then when he looked away, I started to put my hand down. I was like, oh.
Oh, I have been there. That it's a it
Sailor's
sucks.
kit would probably be a good one. But what really sets them out is they're still wearing like their jacket and their boots. While everybody else is like maybe a soft short, these two are in their boots. And their boots have the little clicky things on them. That's what finally clicks in your head. They're wearing the same boots. They go to the same tailor for their, cobbler for their boots.
They're twins.
Twinsies.
So I look over to Maria. Is there a secret language that quartermasters share?
She looks over to Arthur, shrugs. I don't know. I don't know. And then sticks food in her mouth.
They just seem to like look at each other and grunt and nod.
She shrugs.
Porridge.
I don't know. And she like puts her cup of coffee up to her face. So what are you doing today?
Well, I don't really have a solid plan. Thomas and I were able to accomplish most of our chores yesterday and the day before.
Well, there's always jobs on the job board.
There are, but I don't know. For once, I finally don't feel like I need to seek work on my leave. I just don't know what to do with my time.
Do you have read body language as a feat, trait? And if so, make an awareness roll.
Oh my.
If you need to, I can roll my dice for you.
No. I have plenty of dice. I just read body language.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of like sense motive-y.
Yeah, that's what it's for. If you can make an awareness check and determine what somebody's.
Oh well, I have sense motive.
Ah, okay, great. Roll it.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad I got all the high rolls out. I rolled a 4.
Woo! She seems to jump to when you say I don't have anything to do, she goes, well, I do have something I need to do today. I have to run an errand for the captain. Do you feel that she might be trying to politely avoid you?
Oh.
Sorry, is that a focus?
Well, it sounds like a very official errand you have. Don't let me keep you from it.
Oh, yes, I'm just gonna finish my breakfast and then I'll go.
Oh, poor
Oh, are you making that face?
No.
She's just nervous.
Yeah.
But your conscience is fucking going wild, probably. It's just like, does she not like me? Do I offend? I just bathed the other day.
I know, right? I'm the cleanest any dwarf has ever been in their life.
I'm squeaky clean.
Okay.
Got beard oils in
I'll
your
let you run with
beard.
it. So,
Okay.
Do you have a
Nice
suggestion?
braided.
What would
Well,
suggestion would be behind it?
Yeah, because I don't think that.
whisper.
I can whisper. John, how's it going?
Hey, Tage, how are you doing?
You know what we should do?
What should we do?
We should loot everything.
Oh,
Like everything.
Everything.
look at the two of
We're
them.
Maria off our feet.
castle.
Yeah. We're gonna rob the castle. Kidnap the princess again. We'll be rich.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Let's do it.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, you two.
What? We're not plotting.
No.
So,
So while she's thinking
Yes.
of how she's gonna make her escape, I mean, if you have a chance. Oh no, wait, I'm not gonna. I just rethought that. I'm not gonna say any of it.
That
okay.
better in your head than in real life.
But perhaps we'll run into each other again.
So, yeah, Maria kind of flushes a little bit, and looks like over to the quartermaster, but then looks back to you, and she, like, puts down, like, her coffee mug, and you're like, well, I suppose if you don't have anything else to do, you could come assist me. And she's, like, kind of looking, like, just a little bit not quite eye contacty, and you can see that maybe she's blushing.
No, he got a 4. Totally reads the
Yeah,
blush.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, I would be happy to travel with you as your companion. Escort.
Yeah, she'll shove a whole biscuit in her mouth after that one.
Sure.
I mean,
She's giving you mixed signals, but at least you know what those signals are.
Yeah.
Because in her head, she's remembering all of the things that Thomas was like saying to us. Like, you just have to tell him how you feel. You don't. It's like,
blah, 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 blah.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. It's fine. Yo. so.
I mean, look at Kodrog. He's being himself with his giant plate of biscuits and gravy and
I imagine
bacon.
there's like bacon layered between the biscuits, and they create this wall, and all the stuff in the middle is oozing out, and some of the cracks as he's digging in and then cutting into the wall, making him like a lava flow of goo that he has to scoop up quickly.
Yeah,
that actually
used
sounds delicious.
I used the bread biscuity things as like the towers of the castle, and then built the walls out of bacon, and then all of the peasants are my porridge.
It's like that scene in Lilo and Stitch where Stitch builds San Francisco and he does it so well that Lilo's like, oh hey, San Francisco. Like, I just imagine like you're piling this on and
Castle
like
Kadef.
Yeah.
huh. Didn't know you had that kind of talent, Kodrog.
You welcome. If I may, have a minute to go back and retrieve my traveling attire, because I don't have my jacket and my boots and my dagger. I need those things.
Of course, yeah. She doesn't push the issue. So you get up from the table and leave. You'll notice that the 2 quartermasters have joined a 3rd quartermaster out on some sort of balcony. All of them seem to be hanging out there, smoking and eating breakfast. It's like a gathering of second-in-commands.
Gathering of grumpy old men.
Okay,
I
yeah.
was saying that's like a yacht club that you don't want to be in.
Right?
Does the sign over the exit to the balcony say poop deck?
No.
No.
Damn.
But there is a sign, and it says, what would the sign say? No.
There's no sign.
Quarter deck.
I was trying to think of something.
quarter
I'm
deck,
glad.
yeah.
I'm glad Ace had said something.
Oh.
Does it cost a quarter if you're on the quarter deck?
All right.
Yeah.
You head back to your room and gather your travel stuff. When you and Maria furnish up, she heads to. Let's see, where are we gonna put this to?
Hey, chat. What
Yeah.
kind of official business is Maria on? Or what official business does she need to make up now? Because now he's coming with her, and now she has to figure out what she's going to do next.
Maybe she was just gonna have a day to herself and be like, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna get a new outfit, maybe I'll consider, quitting the ship or staying on the land for a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe I need to find something in town so I can afford stuff still, or blah blah blah, or maybe she was just gonna go to the bookstore and buy a book and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go into my room all day and curl up and read.
So I like I like both of those things, because she was going to go to the outfitters and now she's trying to think of anything. Sail oil.
RP rope.
Fantastic. So,
She needs to get 7 fathoms of chow line.
right. Yeah.
So, you get your stuff together, and she meanders toward the hall. She walks around a bit, and I have an idea.
I also have an idea.
You also have an idea. We're gonna
whisper again.
we're gonna
All right, you
whisper
two
again.
plot.
We can also just reach over here
Oh,
and push
yeah,
the
that's
mute
right.
button. This awesome microphone we have has a mute button.
Wow!
Watch, it won't work. Oh, it does work.
Darn. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to buy like romantic goods surreptitiously while we're on this official business.
I was to say, I don't know how Kodrog would do it. Would he be like, he thinks he's being sly and like, as they walk by like a flower stand, he's just like, what flowers do you like? Like, let me buy them.
That is not sly.
Not like, oh, I need to purchase this because Thomas needs it for a potion. Yeah.
Yeah, so I buy flowers, candles, and some really nice wine. Oh no, they're just potion ingredients for Thomas. Lingerie and chocolates. This is all potion ingredients for Thomas. No
Well,
worries.
potion, I swear.
Hi.
We're back.
God,
We're
look back.
back.
All right, so you meet her in the hall. She's pretty much got her things. So
You guys,
Wait,
I think you're
I
muted.
can't hear you guys.
we're still muted.
We're still muted.
There you
I
go.
can
There
see.
you go.
Yeah. No, we're not. We're still good. Because I can
Okay.
see my thing.
Okay, good.
You're back now. When you were talking,
Just
we
now?
heard and we're back,
Yeah.
and then I heard and we're back, and then you started talking,
Oh.
and there was nothing.
Because you made a really loud sound into the microphone, and it was trying to adjust.
Ah,
When you're clapping.
Oh,
don't do that again. I'm talking to the microphone, not you guys. Do what you gotta
I was
do.
just like, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, 'cause that happens.
All right. So, you are in the hall. Maria's in the hall. So you come out. She's already got her stuff, and you guys head out into the town. And she says, "I have a few small errands I need to run first, and then I will get to the captain's work. But you're more than welcome to come along."
with me. And
Wait, she has captain work to do?
That's what she's saying now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will follow where you lead.
All right. The two of
Yeah.
you begin walking through town, and it takes only a few blocks before you start realizing that you're heading toward the Silver Flounder Circus. And a few more blocks, and it becomes very evident you know exactly where you're heading to. When you guys arrive, The shop's already open. The doors at the base level of all the buildings. People are milling about. The streets are nicely packed. Of course, the Silver Flounder Circus does not have any carts, so it's just people walking by people and talking. And you guys have walked pretty fast at this point in time, and she slows down and she goes, I need to go in there, and she points to an outfit store.
Yes, an outfitters.
Yeah.
But
Clothing, shirts, pants, stuff like that.
Okay.
yeah.
She toys with her hands, wrings her hands for a moment. Do you want to come in? Are you going to hang out? Are you going to stay out here? Picking at her fingers nervously.
So I look over my clothes. I notice, the stains and the wear from heavy work and everything, and I could stand to use a second outfit.
So she looks you up and down as well, and gives like a what looks to be finally a genuine smirk on her face, and she's like, "Yeah, I agree." So now we are cueing montage.
Oh, yeah.
You both spend, well over an hour. Like, you going through the store, picking out things. She's helping you pick out something that's more appropriate than yourself. She's got stuff for you, and the couple times she's even asked you how she looks in some of the clothing that she's trying on. So.
Ooh.
This
Quite handsome
pink armor look
indeed.
good on me.
So, and
Yes.
and you're enjoying yourself. Who knew that picking out clothes could be so fun?
How do you proceed through this interaction with Maria? Like, describe how you engage this moment.
So, as she becomes more and more relaxed, I will be more and more kind of jokey.
Ooh.
And
she'll laugh at those jokes.
yeah, playful, and I'll put on something ridiculous like some pink armor and be like, "What about now? How do you think Arthur would feel about me wearing this on deck?"
She will blush when she sees you in pink armor and give a chuckle.
Yeah. And then she shakes her head. No. If you want Arthur to have, a sliver of respect for you, I would suggest not getting that armor set. Unless maybe you wear it under your own armor, so then you're double armored.
Yeah.
Can you do that with armor? Can you put on 2 sets of armor at the same time?
Yeah, of course. Just layers. It's all about layers. And I might prance out in some stiletto-heeled boots or something at one point towards the end.
Armor lingerie.
So every fantasy female RPG armor ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's she laughs hysterically as you attempt to walk in stiletto boots. Do you have? I mean, I guess you have
got
high enough
acrobatics.
dexter and
I was gonna say,
acrobatics. You should
could
be able to do it.
natural at this.
Yeah.
Maybe he's seen Thomas walk around in his heeled boots.
I mean,
Granted,
heel
they're
boots
not-
are definitely a masculine
Yeah.
thing. So, I mean,
Yeah.
he walks it like RuPaul.
Nice.
So, yeah.
It's just walking
The-
like a horse.
The attendants at the store, they're definitely enjoying you guys and your antics. And by the end of getting your second outfit, finding something that makes you look, as Maria quotes, dashing, she gets 2 outfits herself, wears one and packs another one up in brown paper. And
Is she in a dress? Does she look stunning?
no, she got a dress and put it into the brown paper. Right now, she's got a new pair of like breeches and working clothes, stuff to get around in.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll wear my new clothes and pack my old ones.
All right. The two of you step out, giggling. She's helping you walk out, carrying the package and whatnot. And as the two of you come out, both Arthur and the other quartermaster are walking by in the street, and they give a slow walk by, both of them staring at you. The two of you, as you are giggling and enjoying your moment. They look to each other, continue to walk, and say nothing.
Oh, sorry, I blacked out. Who are those two?
The quartermasters.
There's a couple of
quartermasters.
quartermasters.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I thought that was it. I didn't know
Yeah.
if you said captain or quartermaster. So
Maria, at this point in time, kind of like, she was joyful, now she's like, because she's an officer. You're not.
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
he might become the sailmaster soon. You don't know.
I might.
Maria and you step off the sidewalk. She's gone back to her kind of like quieter self. And she says, the captain wanted me to go by the shipwrights. And you can hear in her voice that she's kind of like dropped down from, I'm really excited. This is kind of fun. I'm enjoying myself to, oh yeah, that's right. You get the idea what's going on. So
yeah. It's like Yep. Yeah. So I will also assume a more appropriate demeanor for my status.
Okay.
But I do want to. She may be looking more serious and a little more subdued. And then she like leans down just a little bit. Can you imagine them in pink armor?
I was channeling my inner Arthur when I wore it.
you guys are so happy that you're not on the
I'll take like 2 or 3 steps in the prancing manner that I was when I was.
Arthur's mocking me radar does not go off because they continue to walk.
Gosh, that was close.
It takes about 15 minutes to walk through the crowded streets and out into a better thoroughfare. And then it's a bit of a brisker walk until you get to the shipwrights. Large building, part of it's open, part of it's not. They also have, I have forgotten what those things are called. I even worked in the shipping where they fixed and repaired. They put the boats up on land and had a name.
Dry docks.
Dry docks. And so they even have 2 dry docks in which ships are in currently, one being repaired and the other one being built.
Yeah. I think.
Oh gosh, did they have to pull the Amber Falls into a dry dock to repair the hole under the waterline?
There is no dry dock here in Narak big enough for the Amber Falls.
Oh.
I'm guessing these are like
Yeah, that
merchant.
has to like go out, in a different area, like where they would be manufacturing ships.
For something like that, if they really wanted to dry dock it, they would drag it back out into the void, and then ships would come back and forth delivering supplies as needed. And the repair would be done on the ship in the void.
Yep.
So you walk into the establishment. The shipwrights is comfortable as you step in. It is a decorated front room. 2 dwarves are currently looking over books. One seems to be employed here, another one isn't, but they're both dressed in finery. There is a Keshin who notices the 2 of you who come in, and he gives a wave as he's talking to someone with a piece of paper. Next to you, there is a plaque on the wall, and it says Employee of the Year, and the name on it is not written down. What's his name?
Who?
Yeah, has his full name.
Oh, Gareth Boulderfist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gareth Boulderfist is on the plaque. And you notice this. You're like, Gaz was an employee here? You know, that's the... But it says of the year, but you guys have been gone for, like, a while. And it hasn't been changed out.
Maybe they put it back. How old does it look?
Probably about 3 to 4 years old.
I was gonna say maybe they put it back up because of the rumors of the Amber Falls saving the princess, and they wanted that business.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. Hey, this guy's awesome. Check out this plaque this guy got. And so
He worked here before he went to the Amber Falls. I don't
the
know.
Amber Falls is awesome, and we make awesome people and awesome ships.
He works one side job a year there, and it's it's like the best work they ever pump out ever.
So the two of you walk in, and there is a storehouse kind of to the right-hand side. So this is like an office where people sit and discuss, and then there's like a store section where there are materials. And she steps over into the storefront to start looking at materials. As you're entering into this part of the shipwright, there's an elderly gentleman with a large collection of paper, waving it around, going, you don't understand. This is not that complicated. I just need your help with stuff.
It's an older gentleman.
Yeah, and you recognize him from the bathhouse. He was an older gentleman that was harassing Thomas.
Oh,
Nice guy. Meant well.
This is
yeah.
very simple. And all I need is the parts that go on the diagram. I need to have my understanding checked, and if Gareth Boulderfist cannot be here, I need someone who can do engineering. Do you know an engineer?
I'm sorry, sir. Boulderfist is not currently here right now. He is on ship duty, and the Amber Falls is in dock. We could send a message for him, but I'm sure we can find someone else who could help you. I mean, maybe. Let me have another look at these plans.
So he sets the paper down on the table, turns around, and sees the two of you.
Immediately walks over, pulling out some pieces of paper, and opens his mouth and engages you in conversation, whether there's a hello or not. He just starts talking.
Yep.
But yeah. Oh, fancy meeting you here again. Who is your lovely friend?
Oh, may I introduce you to the Master Bosun of the Amber Falls?
A Master Bosun indeed. Do you, Master Bosun Maria, know complex mathematics?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
And you, good sir? You look like you have a great understanding of engineering.
I know enough mathematics to navigate the void. I can take a look at the papers. I'm afraid I can't guarantee I would understand them. I'm not a trained engineer.
Maria takes this opportunity to start slinking out of view to head toward the counter.
It's like, but I would be happy to take a look. You know, elementary engineering in Dwarven school is fairly high level in comparison to the kinds of education that other people go through in their young years.
Excellent. And he slaps you on the shoulder. Good man. I knew that if I stayed here long enough, someone would come and help me.
The guy who's got the piece of paper behind the counter has now turned it to the side a third time, and the fourth, staring at it. The old man pushes away with his tiny little hands and snags the paper from the clerk behind the desk and comes over and
Your assistance is no longer necessary. I have found someone smarter than you.
Oh God!
Comes over and with one hand, deftly rolls it up and hands you the rolled up paper.
Okay. I will unroll it and begin my investigation.
So you don't have any engineering skills, but you have mathematics. So you have a Abolithian mathematics, which means that you
can
know
do
physics.
Math, you can do math in 3D.
Okay.
The picture is of a counterlever with a counterweight, a lever with a weight, counterlever with a weight, and a pivot point on the arm and mechanism. And after you stare at it for a moment or two, yeah, you get this. Yeah. This is stuff you've studied before, and you can make a math roll to start figuring it out.
Okay. Oh dear God. 12.
Out of?
My mathematics is a 10.
You could take some time and you might be able to get it, but just being thrust in the face right now, you don't feel confident in being able to drop an answer. But you get the process of it. The thing that catches your attention is this whole mechanism would move something that weighs in the tons.
Oh goodness. So I'm gonna look around. Is there like an open drafting table or something that I can set up shop at?
Of course, yeah.
Oh yeah. I plop down, roll the paper out, and put some weights or tacks down on it so that it won't move around, and start doing a more thorough investigation. And
sure.
And I looked like, what is the weight capacity this is supposed to be able to move? This is immense.
The weight capacity should be enough to lift one of those towers right over there. Don't worry, that's not the job.
I'm sure the king would be most displeased if you lifted one of his towers.
He pointed to one of the smaller towers of that's actually almost. It's the tower that's by the opening of the bay. That's the lighthouse.
Okay.
So it's not. It's very spindly, and you think that maybe he's exaggerating, because maybe his old mind is overcompensating, perhaps. But he seems quite confident in this being able to pick up at least 15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, a harbor defense tower would be a perfect example. Something high enough to see a decent distance and still hold a ballista.
Yeah. So yeah, as I'm poring over the different measurements and stuff on this sheet, I'll look back at him. Is he human?
Yes, and he's smaller than you.
He is a wizened human man.
Okay.
He is wearing extremely expensive clothing.
And he has a really weird hat on his head that makes him look at least another foot taller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. How much time did you spend studying dwarven siege tactics and machinery? This looks very familiar indeed.
I knew you were the one to help me. I've spent... I don't know, how old are you, son?
Oh. I've only seen 47 years in the void.
Ah. Close to that. When I was a much younger man and spry.
What was his hobby? This
is my hobby. This is not my profession. So I may not have everything as perfect as a dwarf would be in this situation, which I am very thankful that you are here to help.
Well, I have to admit, this is a very ingenious twist on our classic trebuchet designs. Making it a tool of construction rather destruction. Very ingenuitive.
I appreciate your compliment. So, this is my design. I need to get the ropes and the pulleys perfected You look like you have a very keen mind. Would you care to assist me?
I can pay you for your services.
Yeah.
I would be honored to.
Excellent. I will be paying you, of course. However, and he snatches the paper up and throws it in one hand. It is not here, and he's just like doing the, it's not here. But everything I need is already in my lab.
And is your lab here in Kadaf?
Of course it is. Where else would it be? Do
Well,
you think
I
that
mean,
I
you
could
are
walk out of this town on my own? Oh!
You are obviously a well-traveled individual, so were it on a different isle, I would not be surprised.
Well studied, well traveled, but not so much anymore. My traveling consists of leaving my bed and going to my lab. This was actually a very intense excursion for me.
Well,
and the bathhouse, but I get someone to take me there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, luckily, you're hopefully on your last visit you got the full treatment and massage, so you're ready for this adventure today.
Yeah, and he grins, and you see, like, he still has all his teeth.
Wow.
What the fuck? They're yellowed with age, of course, but
No.
you don't see a missing tooth. What you would kind of expect to see from, someone who has been able to survive as long as this gentleman has.
And they look like his teeth and not like he's put somebody else's teeth into his head, which is a thing.
Yeah.
Well, good sir, my first duty is, of course, to the Amber Falls. But since I'm currently on shore leave, I should have some time to assist you. Where can I find you?
He will point out the front door to a large tan and gray colored building that's domed at the top of the hillside. So like the castle sits on one hillside, and across the way what looks like to be an observatory is a domed building. He points to that.
Excellent.
Yes. Where is this? There it is. Yes. And when you arrive at the gatehouse, you may tell them that you are expected by Lord Evan Lysander, physician to our noble king.
Oh. Lord Evan Lysander?
Yes.
Dock to the king.
Is he free today?
Are you free today?
I may be free later today. I'm currently on errands with the Master Bosun.
She is gathering a series of supplies on a list right now. That's all she's talking to the guy with a piece of paper.
She looks to be a strong, independent woman, lad. I believe that we can take care of this ourselves. My good lady! And
She will turn as she's being... Oh, no, she's not paying attention. Somebody... She continues talking with the salesman.
she's very busy.
Yeah.
I do like that in a woman, being very busy and important.
Allow me to,
Yeah, he's wearing an important hat.
Yeah, does it look wizardly?
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's my conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I can make some good money helping this guy out.
Yes.
What's the kind of time frame that we're expected to be in port for?
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes.
Right now, there's a hole in the bottom of the boat. And
Yeah.
no one has sent out message saying the hole in the boat's been fixed, so until that's fixed, the boat goes nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much until that is, until that's confirmed, that then there's no talk of, prepping to go anywhere. Once that's done, then they would decide when they were going to depart. So, You're free. You're a free dwarf. A free man.
I am a free dwarf, but I kind of have like some personal things I want to take care of this evening, tonight.
It shouldn't take too long, I promise you. With your brains and my bronze,
Waving his piece of paper around.
we should be able to get this figured out before dinner.
Yeah. Okay, I will. One moment.
Possibly
And-
even after lunch.
Excellent.
He has no idea what time it is.
Yeah. yeah, it's already lunch. We already ate lunch. Well, this guy's on like.
We're eating lunch right now. What are these
Yeah,
sandwiches?
like it's the earlier bird special in like 10 minutes. So I will excuse myself from Lord Evan Lysander's presence and approach Maria.
Okay. The clerk looks to you. She stops, looks at him because he stopped talking. Then she looks over her shoulder. Oh, hey, Kodrog.
Yes. Forgive me, Maria, for interrupting. And
no, that's fine.
I'll lean in. Or lean up. Wait, you can't lean up. Anyways, Lord Evan Lysander, physician to the king, has requested my assistance.
Oh,
I hate to leave you if you need me.
All right. You're making some gestures. She's gonna try to read your body. Oh, 7. She goes,
However,
She's flushing at this point, I imagine.
Yes.
I will be sure to join you later if that would be
There's
okay.
a restaurant on the wharf called Piesco's.
Pisco.
Piesco's.
God damn.
What?
Nothing. I love you.
I love you too. She hates my naming technique. Good news is she doesn't have one, so she's stuck with it.
It's okay. I literally spelled this out phonetically. Peescoes. Piesco's.
Piesco's. Not as good as birch farce.
Oh God.
Meet me there for dinner an hour before sundown.
I will be there. Come hell or high water.
She will smile at that and return to her checklist.
All right. And I will try to hide my gleeful steps as I go back to Lord Lysander to inform him I am now available.
All right, he will take his list, his receipt around to the side of the shipwrights, where he drives his cart, and they begin loading up rope, tackle, a beam of about 20 foot in length, and a couple of other things, some tar and whatnot, some bits and pieces. You recognize them as parts of his design. Once the cart is loaded up and the elderly nag is given commands to start pulling to her deathbed, you guys begin heading up the road.
Do you want to flip over?
Heck yeah, we do.
All right. Scene change.
Where is Thomas? I don't know.
Well,
Where is Thomas?
It's a new day,
Yeah.
right?
I don't even know if you had a place to stay for the night.
Oh, definitely. He was gonna do his business once he dropped off Kodrog, but if it was that late, then yeah, he'd find something a little more up his alley, and not something that reminds him of the ship or a brothel. So
Excellent. An inn with good taste.
Someone
yeah,
who has a room to rent.
yeah, pretty much.
A B&B.
Ooh.
Somewhere where I'm not gonna wake up to the sounds of people working on a ship or church bells or people on the streets. Some are nice. Some are
Man,
nice.
someone's picky.
Right.
I'm
Well-
sorry. I'm a Marseillan and I grew up as a noble and I have standards.
Oh, all right. I tell you what. I'm gonna let you roll. If you roll a 15, sorry, we're gonna do 14 and above, you don't find crap that fits your parameters. If you get a 7 or below, you find what's your parameters. Anything in the middle it's 50-50.
God, I feel like I'm rolling investigation.
We're not playing Friday Night Frights right now.
8.
8. Oh man. So you're able to find a place that doesn't have a shipbuilding place next to it. No churches, but it is right next to a farm. So there's like a boatload of animals, goats, cows, horses.
I'm okay with that.
It's a room over an old barn. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's where you're waking up now.
It is very nicely furnished, though.
It is. They even painted the walls and the floor and whatnot.
Oh.
So as you're waking up, it's to a delightfully soft sound. And as you open your eyes, there is 3 pigeons on the side of the bed looking at you.
Is my window open?
Uh-huh.
Great.
You see,
Well-
as you look around trying to figure out what's going on, there is a cat sleeping on the desk. A big brown furred cat.
Is it Bobo Fluffykins? No.
No,
No.
no,
Even
but it is
seems
definitely
much
sleep
bigger.
on the. It is definitely asleep. And maybe not like in a basket, an old mail basket or something.
Can he be asleep in my hat? Oh.
Yes. Totally.
You no longer have a hat. It's the cat's now.
That cat owns it.
Okay. There's pigeons on the edge of your bed, a cat sleeping in your hat. You begin looking around for any other farm animals or miscreant animals that have wandered in, and no, that's the only ones.
Well, I get up.
The pigeons
I-
scatter.
Yeah.
They alight
Thomas
themselves
winces
into
a-
the rafters.
Yeah, Thomas winces a bit at the fluttering, the sudden, like, flutter that they go and they fly up into the rafters. He takes his time getting ready. I would imagine he would have paid for a bath as well.
Oh yeah, bath was free. There's a well, little draw thing outside. You just get the bucket
Sweet.
underneath it.
Sweet, yeah, so he gets that set up in
Right.
his room.
All right, so you go to head outside to go get you a bucket of water, draw a bath.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You draw a bath in your room. Takes a little bit. Do you maybe stoke the fire underneath to get it warm, or you just going straight cold?
Oh, I'm gonna use magic to get it warm. I don't have time for it.
I don't have time for these shenanigans. I went to college for this.
yeah, exactly.
Did you make it a bubble bath?
Oh, yes. 3 years of learning how to fucking heat water paid off. Yeah,
Alright.
Thomas relaxes, sinks into the tub, just really relaxes, happy that he's off the ship for
Maybe
a
gonna
while.
wash some laundry while you're in there too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You're wearing your clothes.
Scrub, 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 scrub.
Laundry. I want a character that just does that. But yeah, no, he makes himself look very presentable.
Okay.
He even uses his cologne that he got from that one perfume place. Wears his clothing, which I'm guessing he has multiple pairs of clothing, so he's probably not wearing his, like, I'm on a boat type of thing, but his boots, he'll wear his boots still. And he'll pack up everything, pay for his room if he hasn't, and then
All right, you go to pack up your hat. You have to fight the cat for it.
I'm gonna just gently poke its butt.
All right,
And then
the
do that-
raccoon stands up and begins hissing and clawing at you.
Oh my god!
It grabs
Well-
the hat and heads for the window. Initiative.
Oh my god. 6.
All right, it got a 10. The raccoon hits the window with your hat and then is out on the ledge.
Is it okay if I use a spell that I just thought of?
What's the spell?
Return raccoon.
Right?
Return raccoon. No, I was thinking of I forgot what it's called in D&D. Hold person. Basically, instead of holding person just normally and everything, I was thinking of trapping him in like a bubble that just kind of floats. So as he's floating away, the hat also like separates and parts from him, so he can grab the hat.
Well, I would
Shove it
say
in his-
yes, but you're an evocationist magic user, so any spells that you're going to pop out on the fly are going to be combat-based spells. And I'm not sure if a bubble is a very combat-based spell.
I
What
mean,
is-
as Pokemon, it's
what
combat.
does chat think?
I would say it.
Yes. Yes.
Should she have a bubble spell as an evocationist war wizard?
Well, while chat is obviously going to say no, I am going to fuck this thing. I'm just going to zap it with like a small lightning bolt to see if it drops it.
All right. So, do you want to climb out on the ledge to try to zap it, or do you want to like go to the ground and try to zap it? How are you going to get eyes on it? Because it ran out the window.
You said it was on the ledge. I thought it was on the Windows
Yeah.
ledge.
All right. So
That's
you're
how I
gonna
saw
you're gonna
it.
position yourself so you can see it and zap it from the ledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll like straddle the ledge of the building and then just
All right.
fling a lightning spell at him.
Okay. Roll the hit.
Okay. I'm doing sorcery, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Which I need to like.
Yeah.
If I'm like uber bright, it's because I'm pulling up my character sheet. I'm sorry. These aren't in order. I keep forgetting. Well-
I love radio statement. They're all good,
This
by the way.
is-
They're all good, guys.
Here we go. Okay.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. Sure.
8 out of 14.
All right. You go toward the window to get a line of sight. The raccoon dashes down the edge of the building. You lean out the edge of the building, wiggle your fingers. A bolt of lightning strikes from your fingertips to the butt of the raccoon. The raccoon goes flying off, plunges into a water bucket, and your hat drifts down to the ground.
Great. I will take the stairs down and go to grab it if it's still there.
Sure, yeah, you get down there. It's in the dirt. It's a little bit dusty. A farmhand standing nearby who's coming around the front of the building as you're coming out. He's like, I heard thunder. Better be careful. Take a hat with you as you go out wander around today.
Thomas just picks up his hat and he goes, "Oh, yeah, got one." Brushing it off.
Sees the raccoon floating in the bucket of water and walks over and is like, oh, poor little fella drowned himself last night.
Must have got stuck in the well.
Poor little baby.
He'll pull out the electrocuted pork. You pull out
Thomas is a morning person.
pull out the electrocuted raccoon. Huh.
Maybe it's just stunned. Who knows?
That's
You'll-
what I didn't mean to kill it. I meant to like just zap it for it to be like, oh shit, I gotta drop this thing and go.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's moving. It's just like
Yeah.
slumped in the guy's arms. He holds it up. Meh.
Thomas just kind of shrugs and goes, could skin it. I don't know.
It's good eating.
It's good eating. It'll be in
Yeah.
stew tonight if you stay with us.
I like how this went from "Aw, can it sleep in my hat?" to "Skin
Oh,
it."
I thought it was a cat. One, thought it was a cat. Two, motherfucker was trying to steal my hat. Don't
It
touch
could
a
have been a
wizard's hat.
polymorphed wizard or someone trying to steal my hat.
I feel like I would know off the top of my head as a wizard, but my passive magic sense. But I'm going
I
to
love
I'm gonna pack my hat away, not wear it. And I'm gonna start heading towards the castle.
that man's going to be wandering around for the rest of the day saying, I heard thunder this morning. It's going to rain.
Good for him. Maybe it will. It's like clearly clear sky and shit.
All right.
It's only gonna take him until it's 3 a.m. at night where he's just laying in bed and the camera's on him and he just opens his eyes and goes and he just realizes what happened.
That was a wizard.
Exactly.
Okay. You make your way to the castle. It'll take you the better part of the morning. So,
That's fine.
upon arriving at the gates, you express to the guards who you are, which is what title or what name do you use?
I use my full title and my full name of shit, I wrote this down. I know his full name. I just don't know how to
Thomas Baron.
Thomas Elaine Baron, but I don't know how to address myself as wizard or
Ooh, I know. You go, I am Master Thomas Elaine Baron.
There you go.
You use
Yeah,
the word
so-
master in front of it.
Yeah. So Thomas will stand proud of himself and
Thomas Baron, Slayer of Raccoons.
I am Master Thomas Elaine Baron.
The guards will acknowledge you and ask you, why are you here?
I'm here to see Ronaldo? What the fuck is his name? Remus?
No, that's right. That's the name. It's in the
Ronaldo?
back. Yeah, it's in the back.
Remus? Thomas would know. Paige
Oh
doesn't.
yes, it's Master Reginald Velouche.
Reginald, yeah, Reginald. Velouche. Yeah, I'm here to see Master Reginald Velouche.
They stop for a moment. The guards stare. One leans over and whispers something to the other one. Steps into his tiny little door. Then starts talking to someone else. That guard then says, I don't know. Hang on a second. And you hear just the other guard who's out with you. Just it'll take a moment.
Take your time.
20 minutes pass. And they're
Jesus.
still wandering around trying to figure out who this person is. So, the guard comes back to you and goes, there's no one here by that name.
Not the court wizard.
They stare at you. The court wizard, that's his name. Hang on, they step back in. 10 minutes pass. The guy comes out. You can come in now. Come on.
Thomas is at this point leaning on a wall, waiting, and then
How does it take this long? You guys should
he's playing
You
with
don't know his name?
he got bored halfway through and just starts casting small spells that he can juggle between his hands.
So, do you want to do descriptions of the castle? Maybe what it looks like and stuff?
No.
No descriptions. I love that.
She takes a moment, yawns. No.
I mean, I can help.
You can help.
Yes.
So you pass through the manicured gardens. The topiaries have been crafted to look like chess pieces. And you enter into a place where there are stone tables and benches, and the tops of the tables look like chessboards themselves. There are no chess pieces around, but there's a number of these tables, as well as some things out in the green grass that look like other implements of play. The guard says, wait here and I will go get the master, and he will be down promptly. The guard turns and walks into the building, and then as he's left the building, he's been gone maybe a minute. There's a big a wavering sound nearby as the elderly wizard appears. Ah, Thomas!
Yeah, he's a bigger dude.
He is a much bigger dude.
Yeah.
And
Healthily eaten
yeah,
his whole
yeah.
life.
Yep.
Yeah, Thomas just kind of smiles and nods and just goes, Reginald, it's nice to see you again.
Barrel-chested and barrel-bellied.
Barrel-chested and barrel-bellied, and his robes are large and they're bound around him, and he's got his pointy hat on and everything, even though this looks like bathrobes, by the way. They're not actually wizardly robes.
Yeah, they're fuzzy.
They're fuzzy.
They're like
bath.
velvet robes.
You've seen his regular wizard robes, but, to the non commissioned magic user, they have no idea the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So he walks up and claps his hands like, "Oh, I'm glad you came. Please, have you eaten?"
I haven't. I was gonna eat after.
He reaches into his pockets. Ooh, candy.
I'm good, thank you.
He unwraps one of them and pops them into his mouth. And then throws the wrapper up and it immediately disappears into the air. Let's go take a wander around the castle.
Yes. Lead on.
All right. He reaches out, grabs a hold of your hand, and teleports you guys away. You leave from the garden area and appear in the upper halls. Carpeted floor, suits of armor on either side, doors, paintings.
Tapestries.
Tapestries.
Line the walls.
Yes. Silk cords here and there hanging down to draw things. And he says, most of the work that I do is generally around when the king is in audience. Other than that, I spend a decent amount of my time just doing my research. And I'm pretty sure that you have a decent amount of thoughts in your head running around of the things you would like to be experimenting with. Am I right?
I have my fair share of experiments, yes.
Great. Let me show you to the fun parts of this job, like the lab, where I do all my experiments. So, have you ever had chocolate before?
I have.
He gives a small clap. Come. This way. He walks you over to a door, and he walks you over to a tapestry, and then he puts his hand through it. And then he walks through the tapestry. He's super excited. You can see this big old jolly man gets super excited to show off his stuff.
I will follow him right behind.
As you walk in, he says, this coming up spring, there's going to be the normal festival of spring, flowers, and the children will be prancing around. And chocolate is one of the favorites of the king and several of the children and other individuals of the castle. I'm intending a grandioso moment of a chocolate hunt, in which they will be looking all around the castle for chocolate. They did this about 2 years ago, and it was fun. But now, and as you walk into the room, there are potion bottles and skulls and a variety of rare alchemical and magical ingredients all over the place. Something looks like a tooth of maybe a drake or something. You see a jar filled with like pickled juice and a hand in it. Looks like the hand of maybe a large humanoid of some type. In the center of the room, there is a box. It's a large, wide crate that's covered. He grabs the top of the covering, which is cloth, whips it back, and inside there are chocolate rabbits running around. A hunt most superior. You can eat the kill instantly. The children will love it.
It is quite ambitious.
And he reaches into a small pouch that's nearby, pulls it up, and begins feeding them little white pellets of some type. The bunnies are, size of a young dwarf bunny or something. They fit easily into your hands. Come over and begin eating the little white pellets.
Yeah.
Okay.
They move around the
What?
little pen and begin doing their thing, and they act just like regular rabbits. And he's like, go ahead, get one. Break off an ear.
Does it hurt them?
He stares at you a minute. What? No,
Does it
no,
hurt them?
they are designed to act like a real rabbit. So, what you see might look like they're in pain, but they're really not. They're just magical piles of chocolate.
You enchanted them enough where they have the looks and feels of a rabbit, and yet they have phantom pains when you eat them?
It's when you watch. And he reaches down to go pick it up, and it squirms like a rabbit would. And it makes a bit of a noise like a terrified rabbit, like, ee! And then when he picks it up, it turns into a solid piece of chocolate, non-moving.
Oh!
See? How poorly of me to make a rabbit that when you bite its ears off, it continues to thrash. I mean, that would be terrible. The children might be scared of that.
The way you described it sounded like it was exactly that, so...
The king always tells me I'm bad with words. That's why I normally don't speak out loud when he's having counsel. Always advisable. And he leans to you like as if somebody would be listening. Don't ever counsel the king in front of anyone. Always do it behind closed doors or through whispers. At least you say something the king doesn't agree with, and then it doesn't come back to you because he's not embarrassed. You understand.
Yeah, Captain Harris is the same way. You never talk to him in front of everyone else. Shows a bad showmanship, basically.
He gives a nod. Yes, of course. Ooh, let's take a look over here. And he heads off to like a side room to this laboratory. He leaves the chocolate rabbits uncovered.
Uncovered?
Yeah, they're in a bin. They're in like a fake holding pen, you know. Yeah. You watch one of the rabbits leave chocolate rabbit pellet behind.
I'm gonna cover him.
Okay.
For him. And then I'll follow him behind. So what else do you do?
I'm sorry.
What else do you do other than holiday events?
Any special decorations the king asks for, I provide. Potions, magical skills. Oh, fireworks. I help the fireworks around here. Sometimes the king wants something that they just can't do because there's only so much. And he raises his fingers and goes, science can do. You've just got to rely upon magic.
Yeah, do you do any, field work?
Field? With cows?
No, getting out on the field, finding artifacts, ruins.
I usually hire someone for stuff like that, yes.
It's understandable if you're busy, I guess.
Oh, I'm always busy with some sort of new research. Come, let's take a look at this current spell that I'm working on. So, it is a known fact that the king wants his daughters to have a good suitor, and he stops and he looks to you. Princess Amber has been very resistant of finding a suitor. And he's kind of like nodding, looking at you like you should be working toward fixing this problem. Kind of like, yeah. That's his eye communication. Yeah. Well, the king has required that I try to find a spell that can help find a suitor. And of course like
like a love potion?
No. I've already explained to him the downsides of love potions, so he's kind of understands. He wanted one, but I was like, you gotta understand the laws of magic. If you make somebody love somebody else, it's always going to end in tragedy, and there's generally a curse involved. So he ixnayed that, which was great. We don't want any curses on the family. You know, already have got rid of a couple of curse attempts on their lives. It is find a suitable suitor kind of spell. It's oh gosh. So what it does is it thinks about. I'll show you. So he comes over and he's got like the scroll and some books laid out. He's showing you the diagrams for the spell, and
it's like a scroll of finding.
Yeah, but there's information you got to put in, like preferred height, weight.
Okay.
Generalities. It's almost like filling out a personality test.
Yeah.
Desired qualities.
Wealth. whether they're noble or not, check boxes and stuff. So he's designing this spell.
It's going to be a very useful spell. Thomas is looking over it and reading it.
I believe so too, but it's a long way from being finished. And that's good because the younger princess is the one that he intends to use it on. So,
okay.
The longer this, and he looks up and then down, the longer this spell takes, the better.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a dating spell.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
Find your soulmate spell.
Find your soulmate spell.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, find the best person to run a kingdom with not really anything else, kingdom shit.
Yeah.
Now, once you finish this spell, are you keeping this spell or are you going to give it to...
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
No.
No! Oh, good.
That was awkward. I'm alive.
Okay.
Oh, your face is back too.
Yeah, I'm
Are
alive.
we all in the right order? Because I think we moved.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
Yeah, on
that
my
should
end,
be
you're
fine.
not. I
Yes.
don't know what
Okay.
happened. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's all good.
Can't see your chat, so give me a moment if you're gonna
Sure.
talk shit about me.
Oh, they did. It's Princess Amber and I forgot the other
Violet.
one. Violet. Princess
Violet's the younger one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one you guys rescued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While Twitch is twitching, and doing its thing, I don't know if you guys heard me. Probably not. So after you're done with this spell, once you finish it, are you planning on giving it to colleges for studying?
Oh, of course. I want to contribute to the academic expansion of our profession as much as anybody else. I might hold on to it for a little while to take advantage of it and make sure that I refine it before I send it off so that there is no real drawbacks. And I have mostly been aiming to make sure that it works by using it on myself. I mean, I'm at that marrying age where I need to think about, family and stuff.
Someone to take care of me.
Someone to take care of me. I'm getting on in my years.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Paige.
What is happening?
Is it?
Well, do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, we should totally take a break.
We'll do that
Hey,
while-
everybody, we're gonna take a short break because you can barely see us. Here we are, but we'll be right back. Bye.
Let's see what we've got. Hi again. Hi,
Hello, everybody. We're back, and we're going to adjust some pictures by doing that.
There we go. Problem
And
solved.
now there we go. Everything's better.
I don't know why it does that.
That's
That's okay.
Computers.
Technology.
We get the same thing whenever we have somebody drop out of Anarchy, we become different characters. So it's fine.
All right.
Excellent.
Where were we? Oh, yes. Oh, Thomas. Very important. Become a court wizard. Blah, blah, blah. Court wizard is an
Basically-
awesome life.
What
So
I was
amazing.
about to mention, as the guy was explaining his love life,
Or lack thereof.
is Thomas just kind of stares at this spell and laughs a bit and just goes, I really don't suggest handing it over to colleges. If you don't mind me speaking so freely, this spell could be used for devious purposes.
Of course.
Say, for example, I don't know, actually the royal family has to go into hiding. If you actually have this spell that locates or pinpoints a person, because
Oh,
the thing-
no,
here's the
no,
thing.
no, no,
this
no.
spell, if it finds someone, It's gonna have to be you have to be able to contact them in some way.
Well,
And
it's
this is, we could try it on you so you can see how the rudimentary spell actually works. It doesn't find anyone.
What exactly does it do then?
Well, he slides the table towards you. Give it a shot.
Uh,
I promise, it doesn't find anyone like some sort of locate spell and magical floating arrows and stuff.
but it's meant for finding a lover?
Someone that would be good for you.
Okay. Thomas starts, I guess, filling out this personal
right.
quiz.
You play with the spell for a moment, activate the beginning parts of the magic, and begin diddling with it, putting in your information. As you begin playing around with the spell and waving your fingers a little bit, and you finish it, you close it, the spell begins like a broken old car trying to activate. It makes grinding sounds, pops. There's a lot of electricity that shouldn't be happening before, bam, an image of the captain appears.
Yep.
And the wizard stares at it for a moment. Captain Harris! Oh, this must mean that it's more geared toward who you should work with than, other things.
No, I wasn't really looking for a partner, more of a friend or a colleague.
Co-worker, yes. So you get the idea, and it projects an image, and that's about all that it can really do. And then I'm working on it to be able to provide a name. So that, it will say somewhere in this illusionary image the name of the individual, because, if it's just a face, that's not very useful, is it?
And it also has to have, like, a range of working. Like, it's not going to work, it's got, like, 1,000-yard...
Yeah. He's not
radius.
gone into that details yet, so...
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yep.
It can't search the entire void.
He's just
Yeah,
yet. Go ahead.
Thomas was about to mention, you might want to close the range a little bit, especially if you want a suitor to be within this area.
Yeah, I thought about that, but what happens if you do it and there's not one in the area? We should probably plan for it to be very large. I think that sounds like a better idea. But what would be great? If this spell is to work, and I'm not the one making the choices, and someone wiser and more smarter than I choose to make it limited, then that would be that person's choice. Someone like you, Thomas. And he smiles.
Perhaps. What kind of things has the king been doing to find a suitor other than asking noble families?
Well, we've been quite busy. It's been on his mind quite a lot. Thank goodness, because before worrying about who's to replace him, it was all about who to attack next. And those days are over. Mind you, the kingdom is strong. We have no enemies, none to speak of, except maybe pirates. And that's not a problem for the king to worry about. He's got a navy for that purpose.
Indeed.
So, the king has gone to some decent efforts. They weren't decent. He just did a lot of things. He spoke with soothsayers and augurists, and he's not done anything to make it like a pact with any vile creatures, if that's what you mean. He's smarter than that, and his wizardly advisor is always shying him away from making any kind of deals with people. Always important. Don't let the king make any kind of deals. He's very quick to gamble sometimes.
It's understandable. Besides all this, when do you exactly need me here? If I take this position.
I understand your commitment to Captain Harris. And you probably have feelings of desire to complete your tour of duty with the Amber Falls. And this I understand, so I would say to you, take your time and get that resolved as you need to, but the sooner I can start showing you how things at the castle work, the better. I mean, if you're free now, I would love for you to become my apprentice.
That's very kind of you. I am. I just need to, well, I need to speak with the captain currently.
I understand.
Kind of in a position where people will be leaving the ship. If I stay on the ship, I don't know when I'll be coming back, and if I leave, this might be the only opportunity to have this position.
As the two of you are discussing the prospects of a new position for Master Thomas, a door. Oh, thank you. There is a knock on the door, and then one of the servants of the king steps in and says, "I apologize for my intrusion. Whenever the king is ready for the meeting."
Oh, is it now already? Holds his hand up, looks into his hand. I could have swore I had at least another hour. I apologize, Thomas. But
It's fine.
Oh. This is my assistant, and this is my apprentice, and so he will be joining us in this meeting as he is fielding the work.
It's my shadow.
He will be shadowing me for a while.
Thomas will look between them and
So,
nod at
so
the servant a bit.
So, the servant, as you wish, master.
Excellent. So, we will be going to the council hall to speak with the king.
Actually, it's the more of, not really council hall. It's the,
I could have swore it was scheduled for the council hall.
no. It's the main hall.
We're doing it in the main hall.
He thought it best to impress them a little bit
But they're just
more.
pilgrims.
This is what the king demands.
Did he say, tell that old coot not to teleport it to appear out of nowhere or anything like that?
He did not specify that specifically.
Great. Well, we will go to the main hall then. To me, Thomas. He holds his hand out.
Yeah, I'll touch it.
Bye! He says in excitement as boof, the magic goes off and you two appear in the main hall. Very grand.
It is so pretty. We're talking marble columns. We're
Gold.
talking gold inlaid tapestries. We're talking like just
Silver.
red carpets and
Purple drapes.
purple drapes. It is a place to show off.
One's wealth.
Mm.
All the fanciness. There are servant staff standing nearby, dressed in the fineries. There are the guards the guards in the room. The few that there are also dressed in more of a decorative armor than they are dressed in protective armor. But I mean, yeah, it just looks like armor to you with little fancy bits on it. Kodrog's armor looks like it could do better than this guy's stuff. They carry fancy-looking weapons with little tassels hanging on it and stuff like that, and fancy poofy hats with feathers in it. And so every detail has been gone over. Certain windows are open to allow a little bit of an airflow and whatnot. And so you two appear near the back of the main hall.
And actually, I think he would be right next to the king,
Right next to the king.
making an entrance.
Boom.
Yeah, and so you appear close to the throne itself. King Kadaf jumps ever so slightly, turning his head quickly. And you're like, ah, excellent. So, with a nod to them there, and you don't see anyone else in here. Where's the people that you were supposed to meet?
Hmm.
The guard at the far end of the room steps over toward the door.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Yeah.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Now's our chance to raid the castle and steal the princess.
Steal all the gold.
And all the fancy tapestries.
Yeah. I'll get that armor for you.
Can we get those chocolate bunnies?
Yeah. I'll teleport them.
I guess so.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so the king, with a wave of his hand, calls forth the mage, and
Reggie, come over here. No, hang
No,
on, I'm not
what?
gonna use that voice.
I can do it if you're gonna be like that.
No, I'm not gonna be like.
Cookie?
No, I'm not gonna do.
Your
I don't know why
secret life
cookies.
is
I'm not gonna do cookies voice.
Cookie moonlights as the king.
You know,
of
I
Crab.
wouldn't be surprised.
Reginald, come here. And the wizard moves over, wiggling his finger at you. Oh, my apprentice, soon to be apprentice, sir. I'm giving him a little bit of a tour. So he's shadowing and figuring out how all this works. He will be no bother, and we will not be involved unless you truly need us. Besides, he's an accomplished spellcaster, one of the Baron family. Gives nods, and the king nods back, leans back, and just begins looking you up and down, judgingly.
Thomas looks good.
Yeah.
He's not in big fancy robes. He's got a long coat on, basically what would be a button-down shirt, but it's an overthrow shirt because of the medieval style.
Don't know.
Tucked into black pants and boots that go up his legs to his calf. And if the king is very keen-eyed, Thomas has like a belt around his waist, and on his belt is one of the pouches, and just ever so slightly a pointed hat sticks out of it. And he also has a blade strapped to his hip. Along
Oh, that's
with
right. You do have a
tome.
longsword, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Along with a tome.
Yeah. Yeah, so the king will say, just make sure he doesn't cause any distractions. And Reginald's just...
Yeah.
Bring in the first. What would he say?
Well, first he would ask Reginald to tell Reginald what capacity is to serve during this meeting.
I think you're getting a better impression of all this. You should do what his words are, the king's words.
Okay.
Yeah, because I almost did Cookie's voice. I'm just stumbling over here.
Yeah, just be the king.
All right, I'll be the king.
You be the king.
for now.
Okay.
And then, but then I'm also going to be the people, so
Well, okay.
that's okay.
I'll do the queen
we'll,
later.
We'll switch. Reginald,
Yes, my lord.
you are to ensure that they speak honestly.
Yes, my lord.
I'm curious as to what these pilgrims have to offer. I was told that there was going to be a gift, so please be prepared to inspect it.
Yes, my lord.
Send them in. And shortly after, a group of 3 individuals come in. What do they wear?
They're in white and blue and black clothing, mostly well-covered attire, traveling garb that looks at least comfortable, but truly the only thing that sticks out amongst all of them, men and women alike, are their faces. So if you can imagine like a black and blue coloration to the nun outfit that Catholic nuns wear, and even the gentlemen are wearing it. Because that's like their attire.
Okay. And one of them is holding a box.
Reginald will step back and stealthily splays his hands out in front of him. You see micro gestures as he begins manipulating the magic, muttering small words and whatnot. In at the best of his ability to be facing these people and at the same time cast a spell. You recognize that he is laying out a zone of magic or an area of magic that will begin to detect for magic, or at least maybe hostile intention or something. But the magic is definitely wide, and you're not right up next to him, so you can't hear the words too well. Would you like to maybe attempt to spellcraft or detect to see what the magic is?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to use my own detect magic. Yeah, that'll work. 6
Yeah.
out of 14.
Okay. You take a moment, you close your eyes, and you open them back up again, feeling the change, and begin looking around the room. From where his hands are, a pulse of magic is rolling out across the floor. It rolls over and up things. It's a very fast-moving wave, and it's covering all of them. None of them carry anything that none of them are wearing anything that radiates magic, but whatever is in the box definitely sends a pulse out. And because these detections that you're doing, they're kind of like moving air currents, so it's popping out of the seam and the lid of the box itself, so you don't actually see emanations coming through the box like x-rays. So it's more like the lip of the box shows that there's magic on the inside. You can recognize that the king's laden a decent amount of magical protective wards, as well as having a magical weapon, and the guards all in the room seem to be wearing some sort of an enchanted breastplate.
Well, I guess you can be the
head dude?
Yeah.
All right. O great sovereign King Kadaf, we 3 humble pilgrims do bow gracefully and deeply to accepting us this day. And all 3 of them will get down on their knees at this point in time and bow to him, bringing their faces low to the ground.
That kind of bow. Okay.
Yeah. Please, you are my honored guests. Rise.
They rise, and in doing so, you can tell that either the floor is nice and clean, or their robes are some sort of stain resistant because there's no dirt or anything on their knees, because if they do this a lot. The robes they're wearing are silk, by the way. So it's not like some cheap linen cloth.
Only the fanciest stuff.
Only the fanciest.
Thanks.
We are very gracious that you have accepted us, and we have brought something for you. Oh no, that's not yet. That's not the gift. They don't talk about the gift yet, right?
What else would they talk about?
Who they are?
No, that's right. They're here for the gift.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've already had. 1 second.
Okay, so I've got the bunnies, I've got the money, I've
Great.
got them all wrapped up in a tapestry.
Okay.
But-
I think you can escape through the guard tower.
Okay.
Just down the hall. I'll just stay here and make a distraction while you get away.
Okay. Grab the
Got
princess on your way out.
Okay, gotcha.
Excellent.
Which one?
I'll have both of them.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll have the boat ready.
Okay, great, cool. Meet you out there.
That was perfect timing.
Chicken. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
We can hear you.
We have come before you
No,
because...
no.
Nope.
Chicken failed.
Yeah, now we can't hear you.
Oh man.
There you go.
That's
That
weird.
worked.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
weird.
Okay, that's what happens when it mutes, I guess. I don't
Okay,
know.
it's like
That's
a
weird.
momentary pause or something. Cool. We'll know it for next time. And maybe not do it. We come before you bearing a gift. It has come to our understanding that there is a blight or a trouble is upon your brow. One that you have been questing hard and working diligently to resolve. And we, humble pilgrims from the Republic of Porthian, believe that we have something that will remove it, to bring to you a new hope. Do you want to say something?
Yeah. I see. It is well known what has been troubling me. So I'm not surprised that you all have done your proper research.
You'll give a nod.
And he is like, come forward.
He steps forward. The three of them step forward, and they approach the chair.
Okay. These are the things that...
Yes.
Mhm.
What we bring will help rejuvenate your soul. Will give strength to your country and cast new light into your future. And he turns to the person carrying the box, and the person next to him takes the lid off the box, and then he puts on some gloves, and he scoops into the box, and he pulls out a potion bottle. And then he turns to face the king.
Detect magic.
You're still watching. That
Okay.
thing is radiating a decent amount of magic.
Can I tell what kind?
Restorative magic. It's like
Like divine.
it
almost.
is divine, but it's like a restore, like health potion. It's a health potion.
Potion of life. Bro.
Yeah, a health potion with a divine aura. Reginald is like wiggling his fingers. He too is now stopped. He blinks his eyes. He opens, begins looking at the same time, and he's watching what's going on because it's his job to make sure that they're not offering him a bomb,
Right.
Yeah, that are poison.
poison.
So he will, what is that thing where you just move your hand a little bit and people do things?
Dismiss.
No.
Dismiss.
No.
Magically.
No. Never mind.
No, it's
So the king moves his hand in a way that suggests he wants his head guard person to go and grab
Summons.
the
Oh,
egg from
beckon.
the thing.
beckon. He beckons.
Yeah, that's the word.
It's okay.
We
Sometimes.
gotcha. Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know the word, and I have to rely upon chat to remind me of what these
He
words are.
motions for his head guard to take the potion bottle from him, and he does so, and then takes it over to Reginald.
Okay.
You will allow my court mage to inspect it?
Of course, my lord. We would give nothing to you to harm you. We only wish you greatness beyond where you have achieved in your life. And
Yeah. So he nods and turns to Reginald.
Reginald holds the jar in his the vase, the little rounded bottom glass flask. He begins looking at it. It's ornate. It's covered in symbols of the Porthian religion. He checks the stopper. He begins testing it. He goes to unscrew it, watching what they do. They don't flinch or anything. He pops it. Sometimes when you open a potion, the magic that's on the outside is not the magic on the inside. So he pops the potion, begins looking in, closes it, shakes it like this to get some of it on the stopper to look at it. All the light that's coming out, all the magical energies that's flowing, that is health potion magic that you're seeing is now on the stopper, oozing and dripping, and then he allows it to drip back in, and he closes it. He looks to you, and he looks to it, and says, "My lord, it seems nothing more than a health potion of divine origin. I detect no poison. I have been listening in the room for lies, and have heard none."
Thank you, Reginald.
He hands it back to the guard. The guard takes it and holds on to it.
You have brought me a great boon, and I will accept your gift. However, I am uncertain of your motives here. What do you want?
We request that we open discussion, that we begin discussing options and opening trade between us, between the pilgrims of Porthian and Kadaf. And we would like permission to purchase lands for a temple for pilgrims on their journey. We would like to come to Kadaf and provide the great people of this city an opportunity to experience the light that is Porthian. Those who wish.
It is my understanding that your methods are aggressive. That is the rumor, the tales that are told.
I have never sought violence to convert anyone to my beliefs, nor do I know of any of my brothers or sisters who followed the same course. I would ask you to take light in the things that you have heard and know that not every word spoken by every man has the best interest of those around them. We bring peace. We seek peace and enlightenment of the way of Porthian.
He will look over to Reginald and give like a quick eyebrow raise.
Reginald will zip over and lean to the king. I'm going to whisper like this.
Yeah.
I feel that there might be some confliction. This man might not be truly aware of what some of those his religion do. He could just be ignorant, my lord. What? That's not what you want?
Remember? We talked about that.
I forgot that part. He says, I only hear honesty and his offer of generosity.
Excellent.
He gives a is this cool? That's what I'm hearing.
Can I hear this?
Awareness. Awareness roll, please.
Ooh. What is my awareness? I should have looked at it before I rolled. 11. 4. 6. 6 out of 11.
Yeah, you can hear them whispering and... No, you can hear them whispering, that's about it.
That's about it.
I had, for the purpose of, like, Thomas being aware of their quiet conversation. The room is hushed, but I don't think they're going to be loud enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of, because I do have, judge intentions or body language. How is the king and Reginald right now with their body language with this awareness test? Or do you want me to re-roll it?
I don't think this king's skeptical at this point in time. I mean, I don't think he's holding back going, no, I'm not sure. I think he's now teetering on the decision of, all right, so they're not bad people.
Yeah.
What about Reginald?
Reginald has no apprehensions.
Yeah. Because Reginald would know that the king asks those questions in order to get a response that may be read in a way to weed out deceit, and that's what he was expecting Reginald to find out.
Yeah, but he didn't detect any deceit, just honesty.
Yeah.
So the king seems to be like cool with it. He seems to be.
So you wish to open trade in exchange for this gift?
The gift is purely that. Your greatness. Just a gift. What we seek is to open trade on its own initiative.
The king nods, and I will consider your request. Will you be staying in the city?
Yes, we have found accommodations. The 3 of us are in the city, while the rest, as requested, have remained upon our vessel.
I will send word to you once I have made my decision.
Thank you, your grace. May Porthion bless you.
And the king nods sagely. He's not going to drink the potion right there in front of him.
No.
He wants his
Which
physician
the
there.
little assistant will walk over with the box lid and whatnot and hand it to the guard. The guard puts it back in unceremoniously, takes the box and everything. Which Reginald walks over and goes, oh. He looks inside the box, checks the lid, looks at things, pulls it out, starts tugging at it like, no, I know this trick. I've seen this card game, the one with the shells. And Reginald's like, I'll take this. I got this, and he'll hold on to the box.
Yeah. So, I don't know if the king has anyone else that he gets advice from.
He does. He gets advice from his physician.
Ah, yes.
So they dismiss these people who get walked out by the guards, and the doors come to shut. And Reginald's holding onto the box, and he says, "My lord, I have very few words to say that this is anything but a gift of true concern. My magic is detecting nothing foul. I have detected nothing foul. Either this is an incredibly great ruse, or these people are truly, truly, truly bringing a gift of just a health potion to you. By my seeing and understanding, it will make you feel healthy and more invigorated. I can tell you no more because it is divine magic."
I will have my physician also inspected.
I mean, I can do some inspectings too, my lord.
Your brain is geared towards magical answers. I would like a scientific mind to inspect it as well.
Of course. Would you like me to send a missive for Lysander?
Yes.
Of course, my lord.
You, and he points to Thomas. You, mage.
Yes, my lord.
What is your impression of our guests?
They seem very genuinely kind. I as well do not see anything wrong with the bottle itself, but I did notice runes on the outside of the bottle. There are alchemists that can search and research this liquid that's inside of it. I suggest, if I may, trying to test it on something smaller. You wouldn't want to swig it right away like a shot.
Reginald's staring at you like, a what?
After all, I personally believe that no one can be 100% kind, and there are more a means to an end. I am surprised that they simply just wanted to offer a gift and nothing more, other than asking for you to think of this option of building something.
Then he will look over to Reginald. Your apprentice is very cynical. I like you.
Reginald's
you.
smiling at this point in time.
Please, go find Lysander, and we will converge in our
The
Ca-
doctor's,
in our
doctor's
council
office. Yeah,
room.
the doctor's office. Do you want me to send for anyone else? Maybe an alchemist?
I'm quite certain that our physician will be able to handle any alchemical testing as well.
Of course.
We don't want to let everyone know that we have a magic potion that will rejuvenate my soul.
I question the rejuvenation of one's soul. But maybe there is something to it. I will do as you bid, my lord. And he gives a bow, and Reginald turns to you, and you guys start walking off.
All right.
You guys get out of earshot. He's like, I don't have any more teleports left that I want to use right now, so we'll just walk. It's a really far walk, so I hope you have the stamina for it.
Indeed, I do.
So, like 2 floors later of going up and around, just like maybe a couple of corners, not really that far. This guy is tuckered. You're fine. Like
Yeah,
walking
Thomas
up,
is like fine.
this is like nothing. But you get up to the room, and you guys go back to his a different secret lab. This one's got more books and whatnot. And he goes over to he sets the box down. He's like, we'll go to the council room later. We just got to make a call out to Lysander and let him know what's going on so he can get going this way. Lysander does not like to teleport. So we can't go get him. He has to come to us. He walks over to this brass pot, throws some stuff in it. You realize he's about to make a spell that will send an illusionary message. He throws a bunch of stuff together. The smoke starts billowing out. He shoves his head into the pot, and cutscene.
Kodrog,
Yes.
you have arrived at
The observatory.
observatory.
Lord Evan Lysander's observatory.
Exactly.
Large domed building. There is a telescope in it. It's just a big series of lenses. Nothing really. Mirrors. Sorry, mirror. It's at this point in time the technology is a mirror and a lens, and the lens is probably about the size of a dinner plate. That's like the level of tech they got.
Yeah.
So he uses that to cast the star's light onto a wall where he puts up a sheet of paper and just starts doing some drawing. But his is a black piece of leather that's been tanned really hard, and then he bores a hole through them. So he's making and he says this is so you guys are standing there looking at this monstrosity, and then I lay the leather out and I put ink all over it, and then star map, much faster, less wasting of time, and then you just fill in little dots.
Ingenious.
Oh, thank you. So you guys pull up, and this is like the discussion you're having outside. There are broken carts. There are 6-wheeled carts out front. There are 8-wheeled carts that are attached in the middle by some sort of springy apparatus. You did notice that this cart ride was really kind of nice. And as you pull up, you see there's a bunch of stuff. This cart has giant springs of metal between the wheels, axles, and the actual base of the cart. You thought he was just missing all the potholes. That's like a dwarven door suspension system that he's installed into the axles of the wheels.
Clearly, this is a very intelligent gentleman.
You guys ride over toward the doors, and the large doors that attach to the observatory that he's at. He hops off and hobbles over, and you can see the dwarven suspension attached to these large doors. So this elderly man just pops the thing and grabs the doors and swings them out like they weigh nothing. So anytime you guys see like the giant stone or metal doors that are gigantic in size, they can be opened by one dwarf or an old man.
Just one finger, push the door.
Well oiled, and you're good to go. So he pops one of the doors open. You guys go riding in. There are things hanging from the ceiling that look like giant birds. There's something that looks like the sail system of a void ship attached to some sort of tube. There are things spinning by themselves, that almost like it's just this big contraption that's spinning, and it's got this massive length of coiled rope that is all wound up, and it's spinning down and down and down and down, and then as it gets low and the rope begins uncoiling, begins wrapping back up and going up and up and up and up and up. And as he looks over and goes, 2 hours before dinner time. We've got plenty. And he looks at the spinning thing and suddenly knows the time. You can see that the top of his hooked to a gear, and he just begins walking around like, let's get this stuff unloaded.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and contain my curiosity stuff.
Oh, yes. I'll do descriptions of the room. You
Yes.
get to do the doctor. All right. You see where the cantilever's base is, and you see the destroyed cantilever in question. It is attached on the other end to a bunch of leather straps and a huge white ceramic pot with a lead and a copper peg on the top of it.
Okay.
So you can see what the whole thing is meant to move. And you begin looking around, and you can see a placement for it. Up a little bit higher on the second floor of the building.
Okay.
So, as you can see, this is the working prototype that is not quite working yet. However, with your help, I do believe that we will be able to pin down the correct tautness of the ropes.
Certainly. I happen to be one of the best riggers on the Ember Falls. I have much experience with lines.
I knew you were the right person for the job. So, I think that we should probably start, and then he goes into this very specific type of he switches over to Dwarven, so that way he can describe the proper way using the proper grammatical terms to relay information.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
the Dwarven language is just so precise, and you don't there's no room for what if this means something else? And it's the language of math, really, is what he says about it.
Yeah. We have all the best words.
So, I guess you have to do a roll for math.
Yep.
Okay.
You've seen the blueprints, now you see the object in question.
Whoa, 6 out of 10.
Nice. You help him unload and begin moving everything into the proper position, reattaching the straps to the arm, reattaching the pulleys and the locations. You begin heading up to the second floor. You get a better view of this pot that you're about to be moving. It is probably about twice as big as round as you are wide. And it seems to be made of white ceramic and with 2 plugs on the top of it. The words on the side of this jar say caution in Dwarvish and maybe a couple of other languages. You recognize it in some human dialects as well as Kashin. Caution, do not touch.
And a skull and crossbones with a lightning bolt.
You get up onto the second floor as you're attaching the levers and whatnot, and you're lowering them down, giving him an idea how to attach it and whatnot. You add in a new set of pulleys and to add it to his actual structure of the building. And as you're doing all this, and you're nailing it, man. It's all here. The instructions are here. All the tools, a lot of tools are here, and so it's making everything incredibly easier. You walk by one of the tables to pick up some tools, and you see what looks to be a metal stem with leaves coming off of it, but the leaves look like they're made out of fabric. So it's fabric shaped. It's fabric leaves on this metal stem that's fabric and whatnot, and there's wires attached to stuff. And what you see are the leaves look like they're moving. There's fabric leaves. They're leaf shaped, like you would find on a plant, and they're like physically moving on their own. They have a metal frame around the inside, but the fabric seems to twitch and shift.
I'm gonna take a second to inspect this more closely.
All right. Okay, he is not paying attention to you as you walk over to begin looking at it. Yeah, the only thing so it looks like a decorative, wire-framed plant of some type with fabric strapped over for the leaves, but there's no flower at the top. It's just a metal rod at the top. And you notice at the one edge of the pot, it's because it's sitting in like a casing of some type. There's another wire that comes up. There's tools all over the place. So you walk over, you begin looking at it. What do you want to do?
So I want to try and find out if like what's making the fabric move. I guess because that's very curious to me.
Yes.
Okay. So is this metal twig laying on the table, or is it planted like it's an actual plant?
It's planted into the pot.
Okay.
Do you... No, that burnt up. 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I have the princess.
Okay.
The princess is...
Excellent. I'm at the boat. The motor's running.
Okay.
Pressing PB.
Give me 5 minutes.
I can wait 2.5.
Okay, I'll make it in then. I found some food. I'm bringing it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
taking
'cause-
that potion too.
Oh my gosh. The guards are coming. I gotta go right now. Bye.
Okay.
You're on your own.
Okay.
You two are amazingly funny. They're having another adventure without us. It's kind of funny that way. So you've stopped, and at this point in time, as it looks like just a piece of fabric attached to this metal pole, but not in a way to make it look like a plant, like they were just clipped on there or something, just left there, like almost specimen-like, and they're just wiggling on their own.
I'm gonna take my finger, and I'm gonna get slowly closer and closer and closer and closer to the fabric to see if it reacts to me.
Yeah, he's still not paying attention. So,
like when you're sitting next to your sibling in the backseat of the car, and your parents told you not to touch them, and you just get as close as you possibly can without touching them. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. That's what.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh god, it bites my finger off.
As you get closer and closer and closer, your finger stops. You're almost touching it, and you feel this strange surge of energy, and then a zap, a visible like electrical arc from the flower to your finger, and your finger is on fire.
And in pain.
And in pain.
Like literally in flames.
Yes.
Good job.
It's like a tiny lightning bolt just hit.
I just close my other hand over my finger to suffocate the flames.
What are you doing?
That was better than my idea, which was sticking your finger in your mouth.
Right? So he's like, did a pulley break? And he turns around and looks at where you're at.
No, my lord.
There shouldn't be any pulleys over there.
You're right, there are none. Forgive me.
What are you playing with? All of these experiments are very dangerous. You should probably ask me before you begin inspecting them.
Yes, I believe I've learned my lesson. And I hold up my charred finger.
It's not charred. It's kind of
good.
halfway glowing and flickering, like it's still on fire.
Oh.
Does it hurt?
Not as much as it did initially.
What should I do with it, my lord?
So he walks down from the perch he was on, puts on his spectacles, which look kind of like jeweler's glasses. And grabs you by the wrist and then brings your hand close to his face. Interesting. Well, and he gives it. It should fade over the next few minutes. That's what it has always done. It's either done that or have destroyed my plants that I've tried to graft those leaves to.
Oh. Can I ask what the purpose of this particular experiment is? Other than lighting ignorant folks' fingers on fire when they try to touch it?
Are you familiar with magic?
I've been in its presence, but I cannot use it.
Well, I hate it. But it can be quite useful at times, and so I am working on generating magic power that I can use to grow my plants, which doesn't seem to work. But I think that your finger will be fine. It might glow for... Actually, I don't know how long it will glow for because I always take proper precautions when I touch my experiments. I guess this will be an experiment in itself. Huh, I should take notes. And he goes back over.
Yeah.
Just imagining Kodrog's gonna meet up with Thomas and be like, "Look!" And Thomas is gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
So
Kodrog phone
he
home.
grabs like a piece of, like a book of parchment and comes down back to you, puts it on the table next to the plant, and then he actually pushes the base, which you see the base is rubberized, and moving it a little further out of the way. So my plan is to be able to utilize the world around us to create energy that will rival magic.
That is a frightening goal. I mean, magic itself is, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I've seen things that it can do that,
Well,
I don't want to tell you about,
mages
Flashback
can't be
to
everywhere.
Thomas tearing apart that devil dog.
Mages can't be everywhere, and let's be honest, mages are pompous, self-indulgent, rude pieces of offal.
Should I go? I sorry.
Far be it from me to correct you, my lord, and I kind of look really nervous because I'm like way higher up on the food chain than I am. But a good friend of mine happens to be a mage, and I know for a fact that he is none of those things.
Interesting. I will write this down. Injured man believes mages are good.
Imbecile who touched my experiment without talking to me is obviously insane and thinks that mages can be decent people.
But
Perhaps the experiment has addled his mind.
can you imagine a world where we don't have to rely on mages to accomplish marvelous things? To accomplish what people would say impossible things.
I dare say I struggle to.
It is my goal to be able to create energy from somewhere. And he taps his like
Somewhere. I haven't figured out where yet, but somewhere.
That I'm still working on. Obviously, it can't come from a living plant. It all has to be artificial, which is unfortunate because I was hoping that it would be easier to integrate into a living organism. But then again, if I did that, then it would just be magic. You're right. It all has to be artificial. No living person involved, especially a mage. Excellent work. He goes back to
So you
scribbling.
really feel.
I'm glad I could help. I think I'll get back to the project though.
Wait. I must inspect your hand again.
Oh.
It's still glowing. But the pain is kind of leaving now, or else maybe your finger is just numb. You're not 100% sure, and you don't want to touch it with your other fingers just in case something else happens.
You're doing this
Yeah.
the
So,
entire time.
While he's inspecting my finger, I'm looking at my other hand. Should I really have touched it? Is it gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like, yeah, you're fine.
I wonder. However, I do know how to store it.
The energy or my finger?
Both.
Not to worry, I am not going to remove your finger in order to study it further. It's quite alright. I was speaking of the energy that these things create. Which I haven't figured out how they do it yet. But once I do, it will become a much more efficient system. Let me show you. So he now is completely distracted from the engineering that was supposed to be done here.
Dang it.
And is leading you over to... Where?
The battery.
Yeah. To
The large white.
the large white
Pot.
pot that is what you're building something to be able to move it.
Oh.
As you can see, this is a very dangerous system. However, if I connect those two cables together, interlocking them, and he makes the motion like interlocking them, I can move this plant. Why am I using organic words? I can move this device, and the energy that it creates will transfer into this. And he pats it with both hands. And you're like, why are you touching this?
No, it says caution.
He used to use those to store lightning bolts.
Yeah. So this is fine. I used to use this to store lightning bolts. But
I
now,
see.
I don't need to. Let me show you something. And so he goes over and he puts on these massive gloves that go to his elbow, and then he takes the two cables and does this weird, like, connect twisty thing. And then you see, like, the spark happen. And then you see, like, just some weird, like a golden light, kind of?
Traveling down the
Traveling
cables.
down the cables from the starting point of the plant device and going into the ceramic container. Now, do you know how I know it's stored there?
How, sir?
I will show you. And he goes back over and he disconnects the two pieces. He's like, you want to make sure it's a closed system before you do anything with it. I'm sure you understand. You don't touch things if they are dangerous. However,
Don't touch things.
all I have to do, and he goes over to this, thing that is, you realize is on the back of this battery. It looks like it was definitely something that was added to it later, because you're not really sure what's going on with it. But he goes over and he takes this, he makes some, movements, like almost like how you would wind a clock if you had to wind each individual hand of the clock separately. And it's like, so it's primed. All we have to do now, and he takes this big metal fucking rod. All we have to do now is this, and he moves it over so slightly, and then you see this huge arc of electricity come through out and like get grounded out into his gloves to the ground.
Yeah, I jump back a little bit.
It's bright, but it's not like the color of lightning.
Yeah, and I have confirmed. And he he moves the thing away and then presses. And I have confirmed that that is 100% non-magical energy.
That is truly an awesome power you've harnessed.
Thank you. And then he sees, he looks up and he's like, oh, right. We should probably get this finished up. So.
Yeah. Yes.
So.
You can.
And I promise not to touch any other experiments.
Other than moving leaves and the giant batteries, there is what seems to be mechanical parachutes and something that looks like a giant bird that has a massive wingspan, and it's made out of sailcloth material and wood. What else was the other thing? That was it.
Yeah.
He begins showing a variety of things as well as you guys move the battery to the second floor. After placing it down and getting it rested, he begins making small attachments for this battery device as he's getting ready to do whatever experiment comes next. He rolls out a sheet of the similar fabric like that of the plant, but it's probably about 2 yards by 2 yards in size. And then he covers it. It's covered where it's at, but now he pulls it out and unrolls it. And then he recovers it with something so that it's not like out in the open. As he's getting that finished, there is a brilliant amount of light about the third floor, because there's a lot of openings between floors. A brilliant amount of light and smoke appears, hovering, and then there's a face of a rather fat man in the sky that bellows out, Lysander! And you, both you two catch, and he stops, kind of jumps, turns around to see the fat man's face and says,
what are you doing here? You are disrupting my experiments.
Lysander! The king summons you. The face disappears. Thomas, come here, look. You can stick your face in here, now you can yell at him.
You just hear in the back, I'd rather not.
You guys hear
I'm
that
good.
too. He's at his workshop. He's showing off all his toys to some dwarf. The face reappears in the smoke. Lysander, the king summons you.
If the king summoned me, then why did he send you?
I'm not really here. This is magic.
I
You daft old
understand
fool.
that very well. What do you want?
You're to come to the castle. The king has received a gift that we are to examine and tell him whether it is dangerous for his health or not.
Oh, something you were not able to do
I am more
yourself.
than capable of handling this work.
Don't worry, fat boy. I will be able to ensure...
But, and the head comes in more smoky-like, and of course it's more billowy.
Yes, I think your face is filling much more of that hole now. Have you decided to eat all of the cupcakes once again?
I'll have you know that this girth means strength, you tiny little string bean. Now pop out your paper, bird, and fly up here, and post haste.
Did you say dwarf?
Yes, there's a dwarf over there. He looks staring at me stupidly. What are you looking at? I am the king's wizard. Wipe that smile off your face. What?
Court Jester! Look! Excellent! Court Jester!
You know, I only know one person that says that. Kodrog?
Thomas?
What? What are you doing? Like,
Where are you? I can only see this guy's face.
The face disappears. He gets out of the
Yeah.
pot.
Thomas moves in and he'll go, okay, I'll put my face here. And he'll move in and go, whoa, this is weird.
Hey, Thomas, your face is floating.
Hey, Kodrog. Yeah, I'm at the castle. How are you doing? I haven't seen you all day. Did you do that thing that you needed to do?
I got distracted.
I see that. What the heck is that? Is that a plant?
Yeah,
Emitting electricity?
it's a device. What's electricity?
Like,
It made lightning. I don't
lightning.
know. Look at my finger.
Oh, that
I
looks
touched it.
bad. If you come here, I can check that out. I might be able to heal it.
I don't know if I can make it to the castle today. I have
Oh,
important business.
all right. Okay. I'm gonna. I'll just.
I'll tell you all about it later.
Oh, okay. I'm he'll like pull out his face.
The smoky circle is still up in the air. Well, that was taken care of. Now we just need to wait for that old bum to show up finally.
Get out of my lab!
Oh, I'm sorry, I left the pot on.
You imbecile!
He throws something into the pot, it stops smoking, and the ring of smoke in the sky on the third floor disappears.
I hate mages.
I hate physicians.
I hate court jesters.
Good lad, Colchester. I will use that one on him. Oh, that's so good. So, well, let's finish this, and then I suppose I will go up and do the king's bidding. As he says, like, kind of like his work is way more important than testing out something for the king.
Okay.
It's world changing.
So you guys do do a bunch of stuff and whatnot, modifying, putting things in place, and near the end, as he's like, well, about to separate, he pulls down the bird from the ceiling from the third floor to about the second floor and begins attaching what rubber is. Your character knows what rubber is, and you've seen rubber bands, but rubber is rather expensive and used as bumpers and stuff. And so he attaches a series of really long pieces of rubber to this bird-like parachute thing, and then attaches to the front of it what had best be described as a specialized carved piece of wood. And then with a hand crank, he begins cranking it, and that specialized piece of wood gets spun a bunch, and you notice the rubber begins getting bound up. And then he sticks a pole into it, and everything just pretty much stops. He pulls stuff off, and he begins climbing up onto the bird, pulling a cap onto his head, and putting a pair of glasses over his glasses.
Oh, those are fun times.
Well, I must be off, Master Kodrog. I appreciate your help, and please, let me know when the glowing goes away, and I will make note of it.
I will be certain to. And say hello to Thomas for me. He is my good friend and mage.
I will
Be gentle with him.
I will be polite to him.
I'm gonna pick up some mundane round objects and throw them up to the physician. Give these to the jester. Perhaps he can juggle for the king's entertainment.
Oh my god.
He will take them because now he's in the top of this bird thing.
Yep.
He grabs a rope above him and he pulls it, and the rope pulls a bunch of other things and pulls on a wooden peg, and that just kind of slides forward but then stops, and the bird moves forward just a little bit. So he grabs a hold of the rope and janks it, and it all kind of falls down. He leans over and he throws something at the rope block to knock it out of the way. And then he picks up one of the balls that you thought, sorry, throws, tries to hit it, misses. Can you pull that out of the way?
Happily, and I'll pull it out of the way.
As you pull it, the thing on the front begins spinning quickly, and a gush of wind begins drawing down over the whole thing. It picks up off the ground and begins going out of the building and into the sky.
I'll just see myself out, I say quietly after he takes up. I forgot to talk to him about how much I was getting paid.
Aww.
Oh. Hopefully he'll put in a good word for me. Oh well.
You can go back and tell everybody, and then the old man just flew away.
Yeah. on a wooden bird.
Wooden bird.
Wait, on a wooden bird.
Yeah. Yeah, because I want people to think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Thomas, you won't believe what I saw. This guy flew without magic. It was
An
crazy.
old man flew on a wooden bird, and he's like, all right, okay, let's get you home.
You've been drinking, haven't you?
How drunk are you, man?
Do we want to skip forward past a bunch of stuff and get to the results? To close the show with our results of everything? Or do we want to go through the experimentation?
I don't think we need to go through necessarily the
I don't
experimentation.
either. I think we need to go
think
to the
that
results.
Thomas, the very strange old man had arrived some time ago with
A thud.
with a thud, and then he comes in through
The balcony.
The balcony. And and he proceeds to berate your wizard friend, and says like the next time and so it goes on. They bicker.
Back and forth.
They bicker like a couple.
I can't believe you.
Like an old couple, bantering and bickering and name calling.
How did you
However,
get on that balcony? That thing looks like a death trap.
yeah, so
You're insane.
but
I was saying, can
he
Thomas
is.
see the...
He holds to his word. He's polite to you, and is interested in how you know Master Kodrog, because Kodrog is by far a wonderful person to hang out with, and I'm glad that you know him, because he is a very, very good young man. So, he goes through a process of like. Alchemy is the best way to describe it, of inspecting and testing out several different drops. They took little vials of each one, about 4 of them, put it through a barrage of different tests, and at the end of it, he can find nothing untoward. This is 100% legit. Some kind of health potion. The runes suggest that it's not just a health potion, but it seems to...
A soul rejuvenation.
Yeah, that's the best way that he can interpret the runes. It's like it's talking about soul rejuvenation, so perhaps this might... I posit that this may bring the king back to a more youthful state.
So they decide to test it on an animal. They go down to the courtyard and get one of the hounds and drag them up to the room and give him the smallest amount on a biscuit. Nothing. The dog eats the biscuit, walks around the room, and seems unchanged.
Is it magically?
Magically walking around the room? No, the dog walks on his legs.
No. Like, I'm sorry. Magically, like, is there something magically going on inside of him?
Yeah. The magic of the potion, you see it it's a little bit of a glow and something, but nothing about the dog seems to change.
This is a potion of youth, right? How old does this dog look?
He's a hound. He's in the prime of his life. Nothing seems to have changed. He doesn't look younger. He's not puppified.
Perhaps we
Thomas
should
will stay
try it
quiet for now.
on an older specimen.
Okay. He said, the court wizard says, I have an idea. I'm going to get the chicken. I know that he has an old hen who's not laying anymore. I heard this today. I will be right back. And so he does. He goes to the kitchen, comes back with a hen. You can see the coloration of her feathers show the sign of age, as she has lost some feathers, as well as some have changed to a more of a grayish in tone, and she seems
She's an
old and grumpy.
old biddy.
So some seeds are gathered, drops are put in, more than one this time. Drops are put in to the pile of seeds, and the chicken is released.
I don't believe that this will be an immediate thing. However, we can monitor the hen, and if she lays eggs, then we know what we're dealing with. What say you, Reginald?
Sounds... I was going to speak. Sounds fine.
May I?
Thomas is looking between these two.
Obviously, heated tension.
Yes, Master Mage.
It's Thomas. You can
Thomas.
just call me Thomas.
I apologize. I do like that. Did you know I can just call him Thomas? I don't have to use Master Mage all the time with you.
This is not the time for pompous rhetoric. Just get on with it.
Well, it's just potion sizes are meant for humans, people. If we use, this hen and the appropriate amount size for the potion, then it should work.
I suggest a few more drops then.
I believe that we can take a little bit more out without reducing very much of the potency for a human.
It also might take longer. We don't actually know the time when this kicks in. Some potions are instant, some potions take a couple of days.
I like your deductive reasoning, Thomas. I believe that we should monitor this hen and see what happens. Over the course of several days, the king has said that he will call upon the pilgrims?
Yes, the pilgrims.
He'll call upon the pilgrims when he feels like it. So we have time to make sure that our king will be able to imbibe it.
Looked like you were running out of words there, Lysander.
I am only running out of words for your pompous attitude.
Tense moment, and the chicken pecks a few and then looks at you guys like she's incredibly tired of everything already.
Yeah.
But after a few grinds of the grain, she perks up, looks around, leans in, inspects the grains, almost wizened for a moment like something just happened. The old biddy seems to be aware that this grain is different, and she digs in a bit more, then she stops. And she scratches. And no one says anything at the fact that it's a nice velvet felt kind of covering that she's scratching into. She digs in more.
Irrelevant.
And at some point in time, she stops, rustles a bit. A few feathers pop off of her, and then she begins pecking eagerly into the mash.
Interesting.
A few more feathers. Tiny ones, just shed unnaturally from the chicken. Thomas, you think a few of those are new feathers that you're seeing, and the bald spots are almost gone. She finishes up her course, looks around and begins digging at the felt, trying to get more grains. When she came in, she just kind of sat there watching everything. Now, she's a bit uppity moving and kind of wandering around the table, looking at stuff, making some noise. Reginald goes, a physical manifestation. The potion is potent. He might not have to have the full dosage for some sort of effect to take place.
It looks like the hen is, well, eager. It might be best for him to take smaller portions and elongate the potion's duration over days. And in fact, it might not ever be permanent. I suggest instead of giving it to the king right away, we do more tests on the hen. At least watch her for a couple of days.
I agree with Thomas.
I agree with Thomas as well. We will inform the king that the tests are ongoing and they have a good result.
Yes, a promising start.
Good result.
We don't have the full results yet.
That's the words I'm going to use when I speak to the king. You don't get to tell me what to say when I speak to him.
Words mean things.
I'm very aware that words mean things, and these are the words I'm going to use.
So they begin to leave the room,
Arguing.
with
The phonetics of what to say.
Yeah.
You cannot begin the sentence with a preposition. You cannot end a sentence with a preposition like you want to. We have to construct it formally. This is how Dwarven is spoken.
Yeah, so it goes back and forth and just like, yeah, so, we wrap up. Thomas, what would you like to do? They've, left the chicken in the room. Do you want to do something or just leave it in the room? Put it in the pen with the chocolate bunnies?
That's probably not a good idea. Thomas, he kind of looks around a bit. He'll look for, like, another container or a box or even something like a pillow or something the hen can sit on. And then he'll make sure everything open is out of its reach. And then he'll chase after the two, close the door behind him.
As you're wandering around, the chicken takes a strut or two, makes a bit of noise, and then with a quick flourish of her body and feathers, throws off a huge amount of feathers.
And she looks so downy and beautiful.
Super soft feathers all over the place. Like, she just... It's like a small cloud, and when it starts to drift down, it's noticeable.
Ow. I'll take note. I'm not going to pick up the feathers, and then I'll leave
All right.
once I secure the place.
And we are ending game here.
Yay. So, thank you everyone for joining us today.
Yeah.
Also, today is a very special day for role-playing games.
Yeah, for all of us. If you guys did not know, today is July 27th. Woo!
Woo!
But more importantly,
This is Gary Gygax's birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Mr. Gygax.
yes, July
So
27th, 1938.
We are so grateful that this man and his friends and colleagues developed a game that has literally changed my life.
Mine too.
So, yay!
Yay.
Yay for Mr. Gygax.
Yep.
And yay for Paige and John and
Yeah.
Max. And yay for me.
Yeah.
Yay for us all.
But-
And yay for our audience.
And yay for
our
you.
audience.
We appreciate you being with us and continuing our adventures. And we will be back in 2 weeks for the next installment of the Shattered Isles.
Mm-hmm.
Paige, did you want to do some plug stuff?
Sure, I'll do some plug stuff. I need this. Hi, hello. Hi. How's it going? I am Paige. I play Thomas. Duh. I am a person that does things like
Like art.
artwork and stuff for a living. I've been doing, speaking of celebrating RPGs and D&D stuff, I'm drawing D&D pinup ladies and men and things and people.
Nice.
And I'm doing all the classes, and I've got 5 out of 12. It's insane. You can find everything there. You can also contact me on Discord. I didn't put my name, but here you go. You could guess what it is. Without 2 N's. And yeah. And I have a fabulous machine. I just need to get ink and a thingy to actually use it, and then I'll be selling prints, which is gonna be so nice. And but other than that, other than helping me live and buy things that I like and food, I also do like Join the Anarchy on this channel on Shadowcasters Network. And that's every other Monday. So our next episode is August 5th, and I know for sure that we're actually having a show that day.
Yes.
So that's going to be awesome. And that same week on Wednesday, August 7th, I'm doing, don't mind my hand, I'm doing Once Upon a Tabletop with Oz and others and Bobbies and Cliffs. And we're continuing the game called Time Stories.
Yeah.
Time Stories. And we're doing the Dragon Chronicles, Dragons of Arcadia, I don't know. Dragons of something. And it's pretty much D&D. It's pretty much base D&D, but reality, if you make sense, we're not playing D&D. Our receptacles, our agents are like, I'm playing a paladin, for example. It's really fun. It's really unique.
Well, they play time jumping agents that are trying to save the multiverse from time distortions.
Yep, pretty much. And I think that's about it, unless there's spooky stuff happening Friday.
Oh, I gotta figure the schedule out. Please don't. Not yet. I'm ready, but I'm not ready. I want to.
We won't be able to do it next Friday, but we will, because we're going to be at Gen Con.
Yay, Gen Con!
John, do you have anything to plug before we end our stream?
Yeah, catch me on Wednesdays. Currently, I'm playing World of Warships, which is super fun, and occasionally I'm telling Navy stories from my dad's 24 years in the United States Navy. So they're all funny, they're all exciting. Come watch me sometimes suck and sometimes be okay.
Yeah, and then after him, you can come over on Wednesday here and finish up watching with me.
Yeah, oh, yeah, also, that. Actually, just pull up 2 windows, watch us both at the same time.
There you go, perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. And in case you need to know where you can find John playing World of Warships, it's right here.
Over on the
On
original box
Sets
set channel.
Twitch channel.
So
That's their original channel.
yeah.
Yes. So check it out. Cassie and I and John are part of the original box set. We do our gaming stuff over there, and Paige joins us on Friday nights when we actually have our schedule up to do Friday Night Fright. So definitely check out our schedule on our website, which we will post in the chat now for original box set.
I got you, fam.
Thank you so very, very, very much. She's wonderful. Come check out our calendar. We got some information posted there. It can also be put into your Gmail calendar so that you can be notified of when stuff's coming up.
Technology.
Woo, technology.
And if any of you are going to Gen Con next
Gen
week,
Con.
Max and I are both going to be there, so we'd love to hang out and do gamey fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, shoot us a message. And actually, I'm going to see if I can get the invitation to our Discord.
We can, right down there.
Man, now I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Invite people.
There's not hit that.
Oh, yeah, right. Copy.
Now do that. There you go.
Now this. Now that. Now this. Anyway, so we're gonna be there. If you wanna find us, join our Discord.
Hunt us down.
Hunt us down.
And we'll hang out. Talk about gaming stuff. We love talking about storytelling,
make
gaming.
plans. Yeah.
Make plans.
I'm tired now.
Yeah. This was a good game.
Woo! It's good to be back.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yay.
Woo!
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.